South suburban politician Tiffany Henyard appears to have lost control of both governments.
Henyard's landlord showed up here to see her tenant in person after she says Henyard has been dodging both her and rent payments for months.
In a community where news stories are dominated by political scandals, Dolton's self-declared super mayor Tiffany Henyard's story keeps getting worse, leaving both locals and critics perplexed. Henyard has become well known as both the mayor of Dolton and the supervisor of Thornton Township. She is currently at the center of a number of scandals, ranging from extravagant spending to dubious interactions with law enforcement. With new accusations emerging every day, it appears as though a new chapter in her turbulent political career has begun. Has Henyard lost control of her behavior, or is there something more deliberate at play here?
She's teasing a big announcement that she claims will result in some of her opponents being arrested and charged.
This most recent part in Tiffany Henyard's continuous story starts off ironically, even though she earns a six-figure salary from two prominent professions. You heard correctly, the mayor of Dolton, who apparently makes over $280,000 annually, is currently facing an eviction case for not paying rent. She hasn't paid rent since August, and her landlady, Jenna Toll, was formerly a friend and supporter, is currently involved in a legal dispute with Henyard, alleging that she hasn't gotten any money for months and that she had to step up her efforts to serve Henyard with the EV notice. This raises major concerns because the woman is managing millions of public monies and evading rent payments.
The home that she leased to Mayor Tiffany Henyard has filed eviction papers. She says Henyard has not paid her rent, and now...
Paul's description of the experience paints a vivid picture, saying she has encountered a brick wall in her attempts to collect the money, claiming that Henyard has not only stopped paying rent, but has even changed the garage codes and locks to prevent her from leaving for Hull. Ultimately, it's a matter of principle rather than just money. If these accusations are true, it's difficult not to see this as a somber metaphor for Henyard's leadership style of taking without giving back. The woman reportedly trusted Henyard enough to lease her property, only to be ignored and heavily armed by a mayor who says she fights for her community.
Henyard's landlord, and she says she came to this Thornton Township meeting Tuesday night hoping to get paid what she says she...
Unpaid rent scandal is just the beginning. Henyard's tenure as mayor has been characterized by incredibly extravagant spending that has raised many eyebrows, and as Dolton's budget deficit keeps growing, Henyard has been traveling the nation in luxury hotels, first-class flights, and fine dining, according to sources. This year alone, documents claim that she spent thousands of dollars on upscale lodgings, such as stays at the Four Seasons in Atlanta and the Marriott Marks in New York City, using public funds. This isn't just a one-time indulgence, though. Her spending patterns have reportedly depleted the town's general fund by millions, putting it in a precarious financial situation that jeopardizes essential services.
A finger to Tiffany for allowing me. I'm over it. Now it's time for me.
Residents had expressed outrage over these extravagant expenditures, claiming that Henyard's spending demonstrates how disengaged she has become. For example, over a few months, Dolton's public funds reportedly covered over $223,000 in restaurant bills alone, demonstrating her penchant for upscale dining. The community has not been given much explanation as to why such extravagant splurges were required. Outrage has apparently justified these excursions as attempts to draw an investment to support the town's growth, but detractors contend that this is completely untrue given Dolton's problems with deteriorating infrastructure, broken water mains, and safety issues. The people who once trusted her with the town's future are left wondering where the investment in U.S. Henyard's extravagant lifestyle is. It feels like a slap in the face.
Tonight, as another board meeting got canceled because of a lack of a quorum.
And that came after a disagreement about where to hold the meeting as trustees expressed concerns for their...
The way Henyard allegedly abuses her position of authority to stifle dissenters is even more concerning. In Dolton, this super mayor not only sets the rules, but also controls the narrative. According to reports, she has hired local police officers as her personal security force, giving them the task of closely monitoring anyone who dared to question her authority. Small business owners say they have been coerced into making political contributions, with some reporting harassment and inspections if they don't comply. Local business owner Lawrence Gardner shared his story of being coerced into giving to Henyard's campaign fund, only to be harassed when he didn't comply. Gardner said that refusing Henyard's requests was like inviting trouble. He and others described a culture of fear in which there is a risk of retaliation if you disagree with the mayor.
Seeking arrest for individuals involved. I will be present.
For some residents, Henyard's one-sided approach has become intolerable, so they have taken to social media to publicly express their frustrations with her alleged abuses of power. The comments show how many people are becoming dissatisfied with her actions, with one user capturing the sentiment that many others share. Come on now, whereas the FBI Henyard needs to be arrested and the cleanup of this mess must begin immediately. Another equally irate commenter made the following: Tiffany does not live there. That house is for show. Her mansion is probably in another state. Tiffany done stole too much money. She is up to something. These remarks highlight the growing annoyance of Dalton residents who feel abandoned by a leader they perceive to be more concerned with their own interests than with the good of the community.
I'm at wit's end, and I fear that I'm going to go into foreclosure soon if I can't get it.
Speaking of the FBI, it appears that the federal agency has finally taken notice. Henyard's administration is allegedly being investigated for her use of public funds, though it is unclear exactly what the FBI is looking into. Insiders say the investigation is focused on her extravagant spending, which seems to be at odds with Dalton's financial difficulties. When a public official misuses taxpayer funds, the FBI takes it seriously. If the rumors are true, her extravagant lifestyle might soon come crashing down, and she would have to pay a special process server to get them served. However, it's not just her personal expenditures that are being carefully examined. Henyard has denied the claims as unfounded, but there are rumors that she has given large contracts to campaign donors and close allies. Some sources claim that these deals are part of a bigger plan to increase her power by using public funds to buy loyalty. Many inhabitants of Dalton are not convinced, and an increasing number of them are demanding an official investigation into the way contracts are awarded in Dalton, arguing that Henyard's administration functions as an exclusive club to which only those with the appropriate connections are granted entrance.
Now it appears that they're going to try to have a meeting upstairs. It is not safe.
If the scandals weren't enough, Henyard's actions are now dividing her own camp. The most recent development is a lawsuit that is still pending and has apparently caused a rift between Henyard and Trust Stan Brown, who says his name was added to the suit without his consent, according to sources close to Brown. Was shocked to learn that he was on the list and immediately tried to disassociate himself from the case. His public condemnation of the involvement has only served to widen the gulf, leaving Henyard with fewer supporters as she comes under increasing scrutiny. Once a leader who commanded loyalty, Henyard now appears to be losing support every day.
It's her problem, her responsibility, and she failed. She's failed.
The opposition to Henyard has grown to the point where locals are accusing her of putting fame before administration and comparing her to a reality TV star. Henyard's frequent attendance at public events with a full entourage, including security detail photographers and a stylish wardrobe that attracts a lot of attention, is easy to understand. At a recent Valentine's Day ice rink party, she reportedly arrived with her deputy police chief serving as her personal bodyguard, creating an almost surreal scene for locals who just wanted to enjoy a fun day with their families as Dowson's financial difficulties worsen. This emphasis on appearance over content is simply making people more frustrated. As the criticisms continue to mount, Henyard has responded defiantly to the criticisms. In recent public meetings, she has attacked her critics, accusing them of jealousy and envy over her success. In one heated session, she reminded the trustees that she is the leader and demanded that they follow her lead, accusing them of doing nothing but running their mouths. However, for the Dalton community, these words are insufficient, and with every new controversy, Henyard's leadership becomes less credible, leaving residents wondering how long they will have to wait for change.
To be redundant, and we're getting tired of coming here, not having the laws followed,
Though she is certain that the people of Dalton will back her once more, the opposition is as committed to enacting change, and Henyard's recent declaration of her re-election run has further intensified the drama. Jason House, a strident opponent of Henyard, has announced his intention to run for mayor and promised to work with him to bring order and decency back to Dalton's government. A group of contenders known as the Clean House Slate has surfaced, dedicated to combating the corruption they say has afflicted the community. As citizens must decide between the promise of a new beginning under House and his team and Henyard's rebellious leadership, the forthcoming election is looking to be a fight for Dalton's future under his administration.
Here a few times to serve them for a household that makes, over $350,000.
Those who have been following this saga may find it predictable and perplexing that despite a mayor facing eviction, mounting legal issues, and now federal scrutiny, she continues to double down, seemingly unfazed by the storm of controversy surrounding her. Perhaps she thinks her connections and devoted supporters will see her through, or perhaps she is so caught up in her own story that she isn't seeing the writing on the wall. In any case, the Henyard story is far from over as Dalton watches its self-declared super mayor is embroiled in growing controversies. With the federal investigation apparently in progress, the key issue still stands. Can Henyard actually maintain her post, or will these scandals ultimately lead to her downfall? What does the fallout imply for Dalton's future? Please leave a comment below with your ideas, and remember to subscribe for the most recent updates on this subject. See you in the upcoming video. Until we meet again, thanks for watching Visual Vortex.